Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. And the playlist for today is here. Let me add the link in case you joined after. If you'd like to click on that link and listen on your Spotify app, please feel free. And for our flow today, we will need at least for the end, like one scarf or strap or tie or something to loop around one's foot. And then if you have tight hips, a block, yoga block or book, big heavy book, or a kitchen plastic box, or bakkie as it's known in South Africa. Any of those would be useful to have with you. And let's get started. So if you'd like to just get comfortable on your mat, and our theme for this week is listening. And we're concerned about a particular type of listening. So on Tuesday, I mentioned that there is a word in Swahili known as heshima. And it's a type of respect. It's a word for reverence in Swahili. And it's very particular because it means to have respect, so to be very keenly appreciative and interested, to honor something, but to also never seek to interfere or discriminate. And I think that this is a really interesting thing because in the English language, when we talk, we can respect something, but we can also seek to try and change it or mold it or make it to our favor. But heshima is a type of a reverence that one that appreciates from a distance and does not seek to interfere. And I think with regards to listening, this word is very useful because we tend to, when we listen to ourselves and do the internal work that we now have so much time for, in our isolated kind of lockdown spaces, I think that sometimes we can tend to cherry pick from the conversations, isolating certain areas or blocking out certain parts of the narrative, or amplifying certain parts of the narrative. And we make this kind of filtering process to suit our current agenda. And sometimes the agenda can be to build ourselves up, and it's like a bit of it's not really the clear picture. We're blocking out the negative stuff. And sometimes it's the other way around. For some of us, we actually tend to block out the positive things, or the softer things, or the more nuanced things. We seek only to remember the negative or dark or stark headline of a memory or a narrative. And if we apply this term heshima to our listening to internal stories, I think that that's really fruitful, because then we listen with open eyes and we seek not to block out or change or alter. And we're so ready to accord that type of respectful reverence and listening to others, to our friends. If they come to us with a problem or something, we sit back and we listen fully and keenly and with compassion. And we just want to be there as an ear, but we find that hard often with ourselves. And so that's sort of what the theme is this week, is trying to cultivate through our practice, through the way in which we relate to our body and our postures and our minds on the mat, this heshima, this reverence in inner communication. So let's start on our mats in child pose. So come to bring your hips towards the back of the mat, and maybe make your knees nice and wide so it's comfortable for your lower back, and then recline forward, reaching into the fingertips as you do that, and then softening the head. If the floor feels far away from your forehead, then place something underneath your head when you do that, to keep it nice and soft. And then you can close your eyes here as you look down towards your mat. And reach forwards into the fingertips and press your hips back and behind you. In doing that, lengthening out the spine. And as the eyes are closed, I invite you to now connect with the breath. So as we seek to try to listen better, let us observe the breath without interference. Let us observe with respect and a keen, alert mind. And let us observe all the sensations of the body, perhaps the rise and fall of the belly, perhaps a nice sense of relief over the back of the spine and neck. And maybe you want to dome up into the heels of the hands as you press your fingertips into the mat, making kind of like spider fingers, and making the posture a little bit more active, a bit more of a juicy, deep stretch in the shoulders and through the spine. And let the face be soft here, let the jaw be soft. Maybe in these few moments, taking a moment to set your intention for your practice. So I invite you to set an intention that works for you, a sankalpa. And when your heart speaks, often we know exactly what intention or what we need are. Usually we know what our bodies need and what will be right for us. And when we give ourselves the space to speak, the body to speak, our job is to listen, to not discriminate, and tell yourself, oh, that's stupid, that's silly, that's not appropriate. Just listen and do so with respect. And I invite you now to start to lengthen the breath. Let the breathing start to fill the whole of the torso, the whole of the thoracic cavity, respiratory, intercostal. I'm trying to remember the name of our full yogic breath. It's the intercostal diaphragmatic breath. So feel as though you can almost breathe right into the back. So full is the upper body. Taking your last full cycle of breath here. And then blinking your eyes to inhale to come and sit up on your knees. And bring your hands behind you on the mat, pressing fingertips into the floor, offering the chest forward and drawing the elbows in towards each other. And then feeling as though the elbows become heavy here. So almost press the elbows towards each other and then down towards the mat. Let the neck be soft. You can either look down towards your chest, towards your belly button, and will give you a stretch in the back of the neck, or just look forward in a neutral fashion. Few deep breaths. And then on the next inhalation, if it suits you, just lift the hips up. And so this is kind of like a gentle camel. Our hands are wide apart away from you. And if you don't want to bend into the spine yet, you can keep your spine nice and straight here. Just activating the glutes. And feel now as though you draw your knees towards each other and press the knees into the floor. Maybe peek forward over your belly to see how wide your knees are. Try and make them hip width apart. Last breath here. Exhale to bring the bum back to the heels and then interlock your fingers behind you as you lengthen and straighten in the arms. And then start to lift the bum up forward, bringing the crown of your head onto the mat and bringing your arms overhead. So keep the elbows nice and straight, keep the hands engaged, maybe even try and press the heel of the hands against each other. as you keep the fist in the palms, in the fingers, and come right over onto the crown of the head. Now feel the heaviness in the arms. And continue to feel the pressure between the activation, should I say, between the thighs, and also drawing belly up to spine. So keep that core nice and active as you try and relax your shoulders. Last 2 breaths here. And then inhale to come up, releasing the arms behind you, releasing your hands, sweeping your hands forward and stacking up in your tabletop. And so we're going to do thread the needle with some variations. Inhale to lift up with your right arm, opening your chest towards the right side. Exhale, sweeping right arm and shoulder forward, but let it hover. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to sweep forward and hover. Third time, inhale to lift up. Try and continue to squeeze between thighs. And then exhale, sliding forwards. Now bringing shoulder and right side of the head onto the floor. First few breaths, just reach the left arm up above the head. Nice straight line. Try and press the hips back away from your head and hands evenly. And then on your next exhalation, bring that left hand forwards and place it in front of your face for extra balance. And press the top of the right foot onto the floor as you lift up the left leg and start to find your balance. You want to activate into the inner line of the leg for your balance, using an inhalation to lift it up, back and behind you. Keep the leg nice and active. And so you're either staying here if you are working on your balance, if you've got your balance. On your next exhalation, kick the leg out towards the side and then draw it down to touch your right fingertips. Inhale and back. We'll do 3 of those. Exhale, try and make the movement nice and smooth and try and keep that leg as high as possible before you bring it down. Inhale the back, and our third one, exhale. And inhale and back. Exhale, knee to the floor. And inhale to lift up and out. Exhale, right hand to the mat. Left hand goes up, opening your chest towards the side. Exhale, hover. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to hover. Inhale to lift up. And exhale. Let's place left shoulder and the side of the face on the mat. First thing, stretching forwards, reaching into the right fingertips, pressing the bum backwards, drawing belly into spine, pressing both knees and both feet into the mat. And then when you're ready, sliding that right hand forward, place it in front of your face and spread the right fingers, pressing the top of the left foot into the floor for balance, reaching the right foot back and behind you. Take a moment to find your balance, and when you're ready, inhale, lifting that leg up. Keep activating the inner line. Either staying here, focusing on just keeping the body nice and steady, or if you've got the balance, using your inhalation to reach out towards the side and drawing right toes to left fingers, and then exhale and back. We're going to do 2 more of those. Nice, slow and smooth, as smooth as possible movement. Inhale as you bring it back. Sorry, exhale as you bring it back. Inhale and forwards. Exhale and back. And then lower the right leg. Inhale to lift up the left arm. Exhale. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Spread the fingers. Tuck your toes under behind you, and come into your first down dog. Pedal, bend, stretch, move and groove. Do what you need to warm up the hamstrings and feel good in your first down dog of the class. Just breathing fully, expanding as much as you can through the chest, through the nostrils, into the belly. And then come to still the body as you press your heels towards the mat. Press your fingertips into the mat. Activate through the patella. Find slight internal rotation in your legs as you activate through the inner thighs and tilt through the hips. Offering the top of the hips up towards the ceiling and softening in the back of the neck, softening in the shoulders. On your next inhalation, coming onto the balls of your feet and looking in towards your chest as you wave forwards. And then lowering your hips, and let's stop in this modified up dog. So toes tucked underneath at first, roll the shoulders back and in, and then offer the chest forward and the chin forward. Let's just take a few deep breaths here. Keep pressing the heels backwards and really engage into your glutes. Lift your legs and knees up. Try not to hang on the shoulders, so keep those legs nice and active. And then on your next exhalation, release the feet to flatten them out, coming into a full or conventional up dog. And on your inhale to lengthen, exhale to look over your left shoulder towards your left foot. Press the right foot into the floor. Inhale, lift up the left leg. Exhale to lower the left leg. And then swivel over to look over your right shoulder, using the next inhalation to lift the leg. And exhale to lower. Let's do it 3 times on each side. Left side, inhale to lift, exhale to lower. Right side, inhale to lift, exhale to lower. So each lift is also pressing down with the opposite leg. Left side for the last time. Right shoulder, right leg, exhale. And then drawing heels in towards each other, drawing legs in towards each other. Let's pike and come back to the down dog. Another full deep breath here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale to kick your right leg back and behind you, trying to straighten into that knee and feel the power of that right foot as it drives the leg up towards the ceiling. The kinetic energy right to really the end of the toes. Trying to equalize the right hip, closing it slightly towards the floor. And then looking forwards towards your right hand, maybe walk both your hands ever so slightly, maybe 5 centimeters closer in towards you. It will help with the balance. Really spread the fingers in the right hand and hook your left toes out slightly, hooking the left heel in slightly. Just all helps with the balance. Now really activate into that right leg and bring your left hand back. Come onto the fingertips and place your hands kind of under your shoulder or near the breastbone. And just check your balance here. The stronger your right leg is, and the more you press into the floor, the more balance. And then when you're ready, lift up that left arm. And reach now into the left fingertips. And we'll hold it for 3 more breaths. Second full breath. Keep pressing away from you and lifting. The bigger you make the shape, the more stability. And then exhale to release the left arm and release the right leg. Let's do the same on the other side. Spreading the fingers in the left hand and lifting up that left leg, finding your balance, finding the elevation and the right alignment in the left hip as you draw it down towards the floor. And then looking forward to the hand first, almost checking for stability. And then bring that right hand back. Come onto the fingertips, place that hand under your shoulders or the breastbone, and keep the left leg super active as the right toes go out slightly, right heel comes in slightly. And then start playing with your balance, reaching right fingertips backwards. Let's hold it for 2 more breaths as you push the floor away and reach up towards the ceiling. Neck is long as well. Try and soften and relax into the face. And then exhale to release the right hand, release the left leg, and we'll wave forwards into that up dog again. Lowering the hips and keeping the toes tucked under as you offer the chest forwards. Glutes are engaged. When you're ready, untuck the toes and we'll look once on each side, left shoulder first, looking back to the left heel. Inhale to lift it. Exhale to lower. Look over the right shoulder. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Looking forwards, hooking heels into each other. Pike up through your down dog. Find your equilibrium, find your balance. Spread your fingers. And on your next inhalation, lift up your right leg. Engage through the inner line and close the right hip. And then look forward towards your left hand as you walk your hands little bit closer towards you for your balance. Hooking your left heel in, left toes out, spreading into the right hand. And then underneath the shoulder, once again, find your balance. And when you're ready, reaching back. Second time. Now, if you were here before and you found that your balance was pretty good, we're going to do an extension. If not, continue to stay here and practice with your balance. If you're joining me, keep your left hand super active, and on your inhalation, bring your right knee to your right upper arm. And then exhale to kick back. Second time, inhale forwards, right to right elbow, finding the balance, and exhale to kick back. Releasing the left hand and the right foot. Let's do the other side. Pressing left hand into the floor, lift the left foot up, find your alignment. When you're ready, you know the drill, hooking right toes outwards, right heel inwards, bring your right fingertips under the shoulder. Make the left arms, leg and arms super strong. When you're ready, finding your balance and reaching right hand behind you. Either staying here or joining me to inhale, left knee to left elbow, exhale to kick back, inhale, left to left, and exhale to kick back, releasing into the right arm. Coming up onto the balls of the feet with the inhalation rounding into the spine, finding your way forward into that up dog. Pause, one breath in, one breath out. Inhale to untuck both of the toes, looking over the left shoulder, lifting up the left foot. Exhale to lower. Inhale, looking right shoulder, right foot lifts up. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lengthen one more time, and then exhale, piking to down dog. Find your equilibrium. And inhale, lifting up the right leg back and behind you. This is the third and last of this. Some may find this variation easier, some may find it harder. Looking forward to your hands, maybe walk them slightly closer. And then bringing your left hand under the left shoulder or under the left breastbone, start to bend into the right knee, bringing right heel to left bum cheek, and look under your right shoulder. So you're coming into sort of like a nice twist here, really drawing the right knee up towards the ceiling as much as possible. Keep pressing the floor away. And keep lifting that leg up. And later in our flow, we're going to bring left hand to right foot. For now, we're going to look forward, release that leg, and let's do the other side. Inhale, lifting up with the left leg. Find your balance, and then start to bend into the left knee as you bring your right hand under your right shoulder, and look under the left shoulder. Feel the left knee reaching higher and higher, opening the hip more and more. This is a nice stretch for the adductors. And try and relax your neck. Try and feel lightness in the shoulders. Make sure that the left toes and foot are still active. And then releasing back to your down dog. Looking forward towards your hands. Take an inhalation to bend the knees. Let the bum move back to the heels, and on the inhalation, jump with your feet outside your hands. Coming into your malasana at the front of the mat, bring your hands in front of your heart and press the knees back, pressing elbows on knees. And let the bum be heavy and try and open the chest, let the chest be vulnerable. Last full breath here as we just find a bit of stillness. And then on the next inhalation, press your left hand into the floor. Right arm goes up towards the ceiling, opening the chest towards the right side. Soften into the neck. Exhale, draw the right arm underneath the left. Inhale, open up in the other direction. Exhale to close. Let's go one more time on each side. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Pressing hands to the floor, keeping the legs nice and wide. Let's stand up, keep the knees bent, and we can just rock from side to side. Maybe almost let the chin tuck in and touch the chest, making sure that you aren't straining into the neck to look forwards. And then coming to steady the body, standing here now with feet hip width apart and tucking the tailbone up, activating through the inner line of the thighs. Come onto the tips of the fingers and press into your left foot. On the inhalation, you're going to kick the right foot out towards the side in a straight line. So it's a completely horizontal kick out, lifting it as high as you can and trying to keep yourself from kind of falling over to the left. Return right foot to the floor. Push into the right foot. Use the inhalation to lift up with the left leg. Nice horizontal line. So don't let that leg move backwards. That's a much easier lift. Lifting as high as you can. Exhale to lower. Second time, you can either do the same thing with both hands on the floor, or you can go slightly more challenging and take your right middle and index finger, bring it around the right big toe, pressing left foot into the floor. Inhale to lift up with that right leg, kicking it out to the side. Lift through the top of the head to keep your balance here. Exhale to lower. Right hand to the floor, press into your right foot, and when you're ready with the inhalation, kick the left leg out. Keep the foot super active as you ready, kick into the heel, lifting the leg up. Exhale to lower. Beautiful. And then start to roll up vertebra by vertebra, rounding the spine. Nice little relief for the lower back as we bring the heels of the hands in towards the sitting bone, fingers pointing up towards the ceiling. Bend the knees. Let the belly be soft. Arch the spine. Look up towards the ceiling. Just a few breaths here. Draw the elbows in towards each other. One more deep breath. And exhale. Inhale to stand up. Reaching arms above the head. And then exhale. Let's Tilt the hips and dive forwards. Inhale, straight legs, straight arms. Let's step back with control into the plank. Full breath here. Readying yourself for your chaturanga and your vinyasa, or using your knees, moving through low cobra. Up to you. And make it nice and slow and mindful. Not rushing any process, and using the full expanse of the breath as we all meet down in our back in our down dog. And exhale. Let's take another deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, looking forward to your hands, and walk, or if you're ready, jump your feet forwards. Exhale to fold in. Inhale, let's rise. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale, let's tilt forwards. Inhale, straight back, straight legs. Bend your knees, continue to step, or if you're ready, you can jump. Finding your plank and flow through your vinyasa or your low cobra. And we all meet back in down dog. 2 breaths here. And exhale. And exhale. Inhale, looking forward to your hands. Jump or step. Exhale to fold in. Inhale to rise. And exhale. Let's do a third one. A third Surya Namaskar. In your own time. Exhale to tilt. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Then into the knees, jump or step. Chaturanga. Up dog. We all meet for 2 lovely full long breaths in down dog. Inhale, looking forward, bending your knees. Exhale, jump or step, and hug the body in. Inhale to rise. Palms together, exhale. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold forwards, finding the tilt in the hips, sweeping your hands behind your heels. Inhale to come up into the chair balance. Let's take 3 breaths here. Keep those knees nice and steady, and keep the hips steady as you exhale to bring your hands in front of your heart, pressing the elbows out. Inhale to lift the breastbone, and exhale to twist towards the left side, bringing your right elbow over the left knee. Check your knees, have a look down at them, make sure you're still pressing between the knees evenly, and try and open the torso to the left side as much as possible. Inhale to lift up. Keep those palms together as we're going to do the other side now. Exhale and twist. Left elbow over right. Look down towards your knees. Sit a little bit more deeply into your chair pose and look over your right shoulder. Open the chest towards the right as much as possible. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold forwards. Hands to the mat. Step or jump back to your down dog. 1 full breath here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, right leg goes back and behind, engaging the inner line of the right leg. Exhale. On your inhalation, drawing your right knee in towards your heart, transferring it over towards the left side, and then kicking it out, finding your fallen triangle. So coming onto the outside edge of that right foot as you open your heart up and make that left arm nice and full and expansive, a nice bow shape. Either stay here for another breath or close your body to the mat, bringing left hand and right hand under the shoulders. Squeeze between the thighs, really engage through the right foot, and then do like a push-up or chaturanga here. Exhale. Inhale to lift. Draw the right leg backwards. Exhale. And then staying on the ball of the left foot, let's inhale, right foot between hands. Lower the left knee and the left foot and inhale to come up into your Vinyasa. Let's interlock the fingers behind the head. Press the elbows back as you press your hands or cradle your hands in the back of the skull. Make the hips nice and soft. Really trust the hips as you start to arch into the spine and relax into your shoulders. Another full deep breath. And exhale. Inhale to lift up with the left arm, lengthening the left side body. And exhale to reach back for the left leg with the right arm. Now, if you don't quite meet the leg, that doesn't matter. Still keep reaching backwards. And then start to open the chest and the back more extensively, activating through the left hands to come into a nice crescent shape. Another full breath here. Inhale and exhale. Wheel your hands forwards, placing them on either side of that front foot. Step back. Find your way to down dog through Vinyasa or in any way that feels right for you. And exhale. Inhale, lift up with the left leg. Activate through the leg. One breath. Exhale. On the next inhalation, left leg comes forward towards right elbow. And then release the foot out towards the side, coming onto the outer edge of the foot as you open out into your fallen triangle. Keep pushing the floor away with that left hand. So you want to kind of bring your left shoulder over the left wrist as much as you can. So you don't do any impingement and infringement work in the left shoulder. Either stay here or exhale with the right arm now under the right shoulder. Squeeze between the thighs, engage the glutes, engage the toes, and then exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to lift, exhale. You're gonna kick the left leg back. Try to keep that leg nice and straight. Stay on the ball of the right foot. And then inhale, draw it in towards your heart, left foot in towards your heart, placing it between your hands. Right knee and right foot to the floor. Inhale to lift up, interlock the fingers behind the head, press or cradle, head in hands, elbows, go back. Deep full breathing. On your next inhalation, right arm goes up towards the ceiling, stretch into the right side body as the left arm goes back towards the right calf, or as close as you can get it as possible. Keep the right hand super active as you start to make the crescent shape. You can also press into the floor with that front left foot. It will help give you a bit of leverage to move, to twist and move backwards, to open more. Last breath here, inhale and exhale. Inhale, you're gonna wheel those arms forward and then step back into your plank. Same story, Vinyasa, or straight into your down dog. Squeeze between the thighs and back to your down dog. Looking forward towards your hands. On your next exhalation, bring each elbow to the mat, one at a time. So you now In the dolphin pose, spread your fingers as much as you can and check that your elbows are under the shoulders, so don't let them slide out and splay outwards. Tilt through the hips here. Really allow those hips to be very light and strong as they drive up towards the ceiling, making more space in the shoulders and for the neck and the head, which should be in line with the upper arms or even behind them. Keep the fingers really active. Last breath here, inhale and exhale. Inhale, now look forward and step back into the dolphin plank. Let's take 3 breaths here. If you have to come onto your knees, then do so at any stage. Lots of strength work so far. Last breath here, inhale and exhale. Lower the hips to the mat and then slide the arms out nice and wide, doming up onto the heels of the hand. Release your toes behind you and then inhale to lift the chest up, coming into what's known as the seal pose. Now you can lower the heels of the hands onto the mat. Spread your fingers. My hands are wider than the mat. They're on the floor. And now I'm rolling the shoulders back and away from the chest. So drawing those scapula in towards each other and down towards the hips. And now I'm going to look down towards my chest. So when I look fully down, I'm not very clear in speaking, but I invite you to look right down as much as you can, stretching the back of the neck, but still rotating the shoulders backwards, still keeping those scapula moving in towards each other. And then you can just wiggle those fingers away from each other. So heel of the hands pointing towards each other, fingers away, just for a slightly different engagement. Last breath here, inhale. And then exhale, lower your chest towards the mat, hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes under, and either coming through your knees or straight up. Let's find our way back to a down dog. I was straight off my mat there, so I'm going to walk forward a little bit. Find your alignment in your down dog. 1 breath here, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, right leg goes back and behind. Leg nice and strong and active. Hip closed, right hip closed to the floor in line with the left. On your next inhalation, right knee to left elbow. Find your fallen triangle coming onto the outer blade of that right foot, opening the chest up, softening the shoulder, opening the torso towards the ceiling as much as possible. Try and straighten into your knees. On the exhalation, left hand under left shoulder. Remember this pulse here, this push up here is totally optional. Engage through the inner thighs, engage through the toes, exhale to lower, reach through the top of the head, inhale to lift, exhale to kick that right leg back, staying on the ball of the left foot, and then inhale, draw right knee in towards chest, right foot forward, soften left knee and left toes, inhale, hands behind the head. 2 breaths here, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Release hands from your head and bring them down towards the hips. Engage into the left glute. We did this movement on Tuesday. It's a variation in the high lunge, so you really need a strongly engaged left glute. Inhale to lift up on the top of that left foot. So you're stretching the front of the left ankle, and your left knee is really, really strong. And you can even feel, just check, double check your left glute should be fully engaged. Then bring your arms up into cactus. Another 3 breaths here, elbows in line with shoulders. Exhale, release your left hand to the floor on the inside of the right leg. Lift your right arm up towards the ceiling. Easy revolt side angle with the toes flat. Top of the foot flat. Last breath here, inhale. And then exhale, wheel that right hand forward, looking towards the front of the mat. Let's step back with the right foot and keep both of our toes tucked under. behind you, coming into a variation on the plank. Either stay here if this is feeling fully engaged for you, or sliding forward slightly, come through your vinyasa. Inhale into your up dog, and then tilting through the hips, exhale, down dog. Let's take a full breath here, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, lifting up the left leg, engaging through that leg, finding your equilibrium. And with your next inhalation, left knee into your right elbow, outer blade of the left foot, opening out into your fallen triangle. Breathing through 3 lovely full breaths. And then exhale to close your right hand under your right shoulder. Engage through the thighs. And we've got that optional push-up. Inhale to lift. Try and keep that left leg nice and straight as you come into the ball of the right foot. Exhale, 3-legged dog. Inhale, left knee in towards heart. Forward between hands. Softening right foot and knee. Lifting the hands up. And cradling the head, 2 breaths. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Sliding the hands down to the hips, engaging right glute, using the inhalation to come up onto the top of the right foot. Bringing your hands up, cactus arms. Really check on that right knee and glute. Last full breath here, inhale. And then exhale, right hand on the inside of that left leg, keeping the right foot super engaged. Keep lifting through the hips, so don't let that seat of the body sag to the floor here. Last breath, inhale. Exhale, left hand comes forward, hands under shoulders. Step back with the left foot, and we'll find that vinyasa variation once again. And tilting over, down dog. Remember, all of these vinyasas are optional. You can hang out in down dog, or you can always go into child. Inhale, look forward towards your hands, and this time coming into the dolphin, but use the other elbow to go down first with. So last time I went down with my left first, so now right, and then left. Spread your fingers, find the dolphin. Tilt the hips. Keep the heart and chest open and available to the quads. And try and lift the head away from the floor and back towards the quads as well. Lots of nice, lovely, yummy shoulder openers today, as well as deep engagement with glutes and adductors and abductors as well. Inhale to look forward towards your hands, and then step back into your dolphin plank. 3 breaths. Second breath, this will be the third one. Make sure you aren't relaxing too much into the shoulders, so protect your scapula. And then exhale to release the hips. Open the arms nice and wide. Spider fingers. And let's just pulse organically and fluidly with the breath. Inhale up, exhale to down. So go with your own breath here. Maybe include some neck stretches. Maybe work into one shoulder at a time. Whatever feels right for you. All options are on the table within this posture. Turn the gaze inwards and start to listen to the callings of your spine. So let's use the structure of our postures and our mat and the sequence to engage in a deeper conversation with self. Let's be better listeners. Last full inhalation to lift up, and exhalation to lower. Then slide the hands back, palms facing downwards, so the pinkies in towards the thighs. Point into the toes like ballerina feet behind you. Bring the legs towards each other. Chin to the floor, exhale, release all air. And then inhale to lift up in this variation of the locust. Keep the toes pointed. Reach into the fingertips and lift the arms as much as comfortable, drawing scapula together and back and down. Open the chest. Now the 2 full breaths here. Inhale and exhale to soften. Hands under shoulders. Let's find our way back to down dog in 1 or 2 movements, up to you. Doing 2 movements because I seem to be moving off the back of my mat a lot today. Exhale, down dog. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lifting your right leg back and behind you, engaging into that leg, closing the hip. When you're ready on the next inhalation, right knee to left elbow, outer edge of right foot, out towards the side, full triangle. 1 breath here, inhale. And then on the exhalation, bend into your back left knee, lower your hips, and come into, it's like a modified Skandasana, skater pose, drawing that left arm down and in. Let's do that another time. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, sweep back. 1 more time. Inhale to lift up. And exhale, sweep back. This time as you inhale and bring that arm forward, try to lift your leg up too. If that's too much, then just keep it to the floor. But try to lift it up and then try to bring left elbow to right knee. And then exhale, open out, full triangle. Let's try that one last time, lowering hips. Let's inhale, lift that leg. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, kick out. Exhale. Close the body, left hand to the floor, and then start to draw that right leg back. Stay on the ball of the left foot, 3-legged dog. When you're ready, bringing that right leg forward between your hands, softening left knee and left foot. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, hands behind your head. Open the elbows, 2 breaths. And exhale. Last breath, it's actually 3. And exhale. Slide those hands down towards the hips. Engage the left glute. Inhale to lift up in this modified high lunge. Cactus arms, 1 breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale, left hand on the inside of the right foot. Easy revolved side angle with that foot variation. 1 breath, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhalation, flick those left toes underneath behind you and then hook your left heels in towards the back of the right side of the mat. Inhale to come up, warrior 2. With your right hand facing up towards the ceiling, left arm facing down and behind you. Find that nice 90-degree angle in the front knee and make sure you're opening your chest towards the side of the mat, softening into the shoulders. Make sure that front right knee isn't splaying in towards the inner line of the mat. Last breath here, inhale and exhale. On the next inhalation, we're going to windmill, keeping the core engagement by keeping the arms lifted. Exhale, sweeping forward into the easy side angle, keeping the core engagement. Inhale back. Let's do that a few times. Exhale and forward. Keep the legs where they are. Keep the soles of the feet really active. Inhale back. Exhale forwards. Let's do the last one of each. Inhale and back. And exhale and forwards. Inhale and up. Give relief to that hip and then swivel to face the back of the mat. Palms together. back foot at a 45-degree angle. Take a deep breath in, straighten both your knees, offer the chest forward, tilting from the hips, exhale, come over that front leg. If you feel that the space between your legs is too wide, you can lift up on the back of that right heel, or even bring the foot closer. Up to you. Inhale to lift and lengthen, exhale to fold in. Let's pulse 5 breaths here. Inhale to lift and lengthen, exhale to fold in. Inhale to lengthen. So this is a very wide pyramid for those of you who kept your foot at the back of the mat. And you still want to do the work of getting your hips and torso front on to that back of the mat. Inhale, last one. Exhale. Inhale to look forward, exhale to bend into the right knee, and then using the strength of the inhalation, let's find our standing splits at the back of the mat. Either keep both hands on the mat for balance, or bring your left hand behind your left ankle, and then try to find the right there as well, opening up the elbows, finding your balance. Remember the strong right glute here and foot to keep you elevated and balanced. And then exhale, release both hands to the floor. Exhale and lower your right foot and slide it out towards the left side, coming on the outer blade of that right foot. So if I swivel to face the camera, that's what my legs look like. So right foot out towards the side in a horizontal line with my left leg. Place your left hand to the floor, squeeze between the thighs, engage the right toes, and then inhale, lift up with the right arm. Intensive twist over the side of that right hip, very relieving for the gluteus median. Exhale, lower the right arm, inhale, lift up with the left, easier twist, and a nice engagement in the large colon. Exhale to lower, one more time on each side. Inhale, right arm goes up. Exhale, lower right arm. Inhale, left arm. Exhale, lower. Bring both hands for balance and then sweep that right leg back as far as you can. And then soften into your knees and let's just sweep from side to side. So you can go into full skandasana if you want. I haven't done that. I've just got knees bent, head and shoulders heavy as I rhythmically sweep from side to side, releasing any tension in the hips. Using lovely deep full gulps of air. Last one, inhale, we find our way to the front of the mat, and then inhale to lift up. So my right leg is forward, left leg is back, and I'm in a proper high lunge with toes tucked under behind you, palms together above you. Exhale, hands in Anjali Mudra in front of heart. And now we're going to come into the revolved side angle. And this is quite a complicated and important posture, so we're going to take our time. On your next exhalation, hooking your left elbow over the right knee. Keep that back knee super strong and the back heel energetically moving away from you. And then press left elbow on the top and outside of the right knee. Press your hands together, lift your right elbow, and open your torso towards the side. That's stage one. Stage two is, and I like to press right hand on the top of the right thigh to get my belly in closer to find a deeper twist, and then bring your left hand on the outside of the right foot. And you can use your block or book or whatever you're using if the floor feels far away. And then inhale to lift up with the right arm. And if you have your balance and feel strong, now reach that right arm overhead, and you should have a really strong and straight diagonal line between leg and arm. Really an intense pose, and often done too quickly and wrong. So it's really nice to have the time here to find our correct alignment. Last breath, inhale, exhale. Closing your hand, Moving both hands on either side of the front foot, stepping back. Let's give some relief to the hips. We'll flow through a vinyasa. Should I say particularly the right hip there. Squeeze glutes. And let's just hang out here for another breath, up dog or gentle cobra. That's what you're using. Exhale. Inhale, look over the right shoulder. Sorry, left shoulder. Lifting left leg. Exhale to lower. Right shoulder. Lift the right leg. And immediately, with engaging the glute like this and stretching over the front of the hip, exhale to release. You're starting to release that tension. Pike through the down dog. Inhale and exhale. Looking forward to your hands, spinning your fingers and just taking a moment to rediscover your stability and alignment. Last breath here in down dog. Exhale. Inhale, left leg back and behind. Let's do the flow on the other side. On your next inhalation, left leg comes forward towards right elbow. Kick the left leg out towards the side. Find your fallen triangle. 2 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, press into the floor to find your buoyancy, and then exhale to bend into the right knee as you slide the bum back in this kind of like variation on Skandasana. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale to slide back. Right knee bends. Inhale to open. Exhale to slide back. This will be the third and last one of these before we do that nice variation. Exhale to slide back. This time as you inhale to come forward, lift up your left leg, draw left knee into right elbow, and then open out. Let's do that a second time. Sliding back. Inhale, left leg and right hand, right elbow, left knee, and then fallen triangle. Exhale, wheeling over, drawing that left leg back and behind you, coming up into the balls of the right foot, 3-legged dog. Inhale, left knee in towards heart, and then foot between hands. Soften right knee and foot, lifting your arms up, cradling your head. 2 breaths. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Slide your hands down towards your hips. Make sure that you really engage into the right glute. And when you're ready on an inhalation, come into our variation on the high lunge with your cactus arms. Exhale. Another 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Engage into the right glute. Last breath. Inhale. Exhale. Right hand on the inside of that left foot. Left arm reaches up. Make sure the hips aren't sagging here and that back knee is super strong. Feel the beating of your heart and use your breath to steady you. On your next exhalation, keeping that on there, exhale, get earthy. Inhale to tuck the toes under, right heel backwards, coming up into warrior 2, left hand pointing up towards the ceiling. Let's just find our alignment here, find the 90-degree angle in that front knee, and find the activation in the outside of the right foot. When you're ready, let's windmill. Inhale and exhale forwards. Inhale back and exhale forwards. Inhale back. Exhale forwards. Inhale and back. And last one, exhale and forwards. And this time as you inhale, straighten that left leg, swivel to face the back of your mat, left foot at a 45-degree angle, palms together. Use that exhalation to stretch over that front leg, either closing the gap between your feet or coming onto the balls of the left feet.
Close the body in. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale to close in. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale to close in. Equalize your hips to the back of the mat. So it's right hip back, left hip forward. Exhale to close. Last breath here. Inhale to lift and lengthen. And exhale to close. Inhale, look forward. Exhale to bend into the left knee. And inhale, find your standing splits. So your left leg is elevated, right leg is straight, left glutes super strong, and maybe you're working on your balance here, finding hands behind the ankle, and just playing around with it, trying to keep that left leg super strong, super engaged. And last breath here, inhale, and then exhale to bring your left leg out towards the right side. So you're crossing the legs and you're coming onto the outer blade of the left foot. And then placing your right hand on the floor. Let's place it underneath the breastbone. Inhale to lift up with the left arm, squeezing between the thighs, making sure left knee is straight. Exhale, lower your left hand. Inhale, lift up with the right. Exhale, lower right. Inhale to lift up with the left. And exhale. Did I do that twice? I think we go once more time. Inhale, lift with the right. Exhale, close with the left. There we go. Hands for balance. Lifting up that left leg, placing it as far back as you can. Keep the knees bent. Let's just sway from side to side. Feeling the weight of the head. Maybe feeling a cooling effect with the body. Nice dynamic swaying from side to side. Knees are bent. And then we can just stop in the middle here and come into a standing forward bend with straight legs. So straighten the knees, tuck the toes in towards each other, heels out, tilt the hips up, come onto the balls of the feet, and then exhale to fold down, either hanging on to, should I say, not hanging on, pulling and pushing into the back of the ankles or calves, up to you. Or if you don't want an active pose, you can hold onto your elbows and just hang out here, bending into the knees slightly. Make sure the neck is nice and soft and long, and we'll hold this for 3 more, 5 more full breaths. If you want to go into a tripod headstand from here, we practiced that last week, then do so, otherwise stay there. If you're doing it, bring your head to the floor, pressing into your hands, engaging through the legs as you open through the straddle, finding your balance, finding your line. And then when you're ready, let's come out of the pose the same way we went in. So finding the straddle, engaging through the feet, and pressing those hips up towards the ceiling. So you want that to be an equal measure. So at any time, you could leverage. And both of those have to be really strong. And then lightly bringing your feet to the floor. Let's lift up, hands under shoulders, wherever you were there, lifting and lengthening through the spine. And then let's exhale to swivel over that front leg, bending into that leg and readying ourselves to come up into the high lunge. Inhale. Find your balance. Exhale, hands to heart, elbows out. Back knee super strong. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, let's twist right elbow on the outer edge of that left knee. Engage the inner line of the left leg as well as you keep that leg in close towards the center line of the mat. Back heel really active, and then start to twist more deeply into the pose, pressing your hands against each other. Maybe looking up towards the ceiling, maybe not talking at the same time. Let's not tempt fate. And if you want to go further, as before, I always place the left hand on the top of the left thigh or the leading leg and press it down and inward to make more space for the belly to twist over the leg, bringing the right hand to the floor and then the left arm up. And then when you're ready, bringing that arm overhead. So done deeply and fully, and also bring the hand to the floor. This pose is very relieving and opening in the shoulders. The deep, deep twist, and obviously that deep engagement in the glute and all aspects of the legs. Let's take the last breath here. Inhale, exhale. Let's unravel. Hands forward, stepping back into the plank. Find your down dog or flow through Vinyasa. It's the last one for this class. And exhale, down dog. Let's look forward towards the hands and walk the hands a little closer towards your feet. Let's start with the left foot as the strong foot and the right hand as the strong hand. So immediately I'm turning the left toes out towards the side of the mat and the left heel in towards the back right side of the mat. So just opening, making a duck foot there, and it helps with balance. Radically spread the right fingers, lift up with the right leg and bring the left hand under your left shoulder. Either just stay here finding your balance, or if it suits you, bring your right heel to your left bum cheek. Press into the floor, find your balance, and then reach back for your left hand on the right foot. Use the strength of the inhalation and the pressing of the hands into the floor to open out. Last breath. And then exhale. Let's release. Coming out of the pose. Let's do it on the other side. So lining up right foot at that sort of 40-degree angle. Spreading your left fingers. Lifting up that left leg. Finding the strong engagement of the leg. And then bringing your right hand lightly balanced under right shoulder. If you want to go further, bend into the left knee. Really activate through the palm and sole of the foot. And then start to reach back, right hand to left foot. Use the inhalation. Flowing through your last breath. Maybe going a little deeper. And then exhale to come out. Release. Both knees on the mat, nice and wide, toes together. Extended child pose. Turning your attention inwards. Maybe closing your eyes here. Tuning into the cycle of the beat of the heart. Feeling the pulse of blood and oxygen and nutrients through the body. Maybe feeling a trickle of perspiration, maybe not. Maybe just focusing on the sensation of the skin, maybe over the brow as it touches the floor, maybe over the spine and the back as you take lovely deep full breaths, breathing right into the back. And just tuning into this conversation of sensations in the body. Not seeking to find words, as the wisdom of our energetic and emotional and mental body, and indeed physical, is not linguistic. How subtle must the mind be? How open and respectful must the disposition be in order to understand this language?
Inhale to lift your head up, coming up onto your knees, coming into your tabletop. And let's take the right leg forward, stretching into that right leg, coming into the Ardha Hanumasana, so the half Hanumasana. Keep the right foot nice and engaged and straighten through the spine. So you might find that already this is a nice stretch into the hamstring. We've been opening our legs a lot and stretching into the back of the legs a lot, and you might be ready to maybe open further into the full Hanumasana or somewhere close to it. So you're just using the exhalation to slide the legs out and open more deeply into the hips, coming to your edge, to where your hips are today, or staying in the Ardha Hanumasana if that's enough for you. Pressing the fingertips into the floor as you open the chest up and keeping both feet nice and active. And maybe for the last breath or two, lifting arms up if you're in your Hanumasana. And then exhale to release your hands. And from here, tucking the toes under and just sliding that right leg back to the Ardha Hanumasana. So we all meet here again. And then keeping this alignment with the legs, take your left hand on the outside of the left leg and press the right toes into the floor. Engage your glutes as you press your hips forward and then open out through the chest and back. This is like almost like the Parigasana, like a variation on the Parigasana, the gate pose. Exhale, let's close the body, keeping this alignment with the legs. And now we're going to do a nice kind of challenge posture, lightning bolt. So let's see where we go. When I start to do this, it doesn't feel right and you don't want to do this pose, you can always go into the same pose we just did now, that backward stretch to open up the heart. So keeping the legs where they are, let's return here. Left hand comes onto the outside of the mat, a little bit away from the left foot, and I'm placing the top of the left foot onto the floor, pressing it down into the floor, sliding the right foot back. Keep the balance, make sure that left hand isn't too close towards the foot, otherwise you won't have opportunity to open the chest. And then reach for your right toes, middle and index finger over the right big toe. Using a big inhalation, start to lift through that right leg. Press your left hand into the floor and engage and press the hips forward to lengthen through the legs, opening the chest. Maybe looking up to the ceiling, maybe not talking at the same time. But you get it. So let me not fall out. So let's give that a bash, pressing your left foot into the floor. Right toes are strong. Use the inhalation to lengthen and open the chest. Great. Exhale to lower. Bringing both knees next to each other, coming back into our tabletop. Let's flow through 3 cat cows. Exhale to arch, exhale to round. Inhale to arch. It always feels so much more drastic when you slip and fall on camera on a video class than it does through a normal class. This is only me here. And open. Perfect. Let's do the other side. So taking your left foot forward and let's straighten out into that left leg. Engage through the left toes. Find your Ardha Hanumasana, first option. Here, stretching into the back of that leg and just straightening out through the spine. And either staying here or if it suits you, slowly opening into your Hanumasana posture. So finding your edge as far as you can go down, keeping both legs active, opening the chest and giving yourself the chance to breathe through each inhalation and exhalation, finding deeper and deeper engagement. Hips are all about trust and our relationship with ourselves. And so I invite you to observe the constriction, the mistrust, the blockages maybe that you may feel, and maybe the energetic openings and the flowing in other places. When you're ready, inhale to lift and lengthen, 2 breaths, arms above your head if you're in your Hanumasana. Last breath, inhale. Exhale, hands back down, tucking the toes under just for balance here. As you inhale to lift up that right leg, slide it back to your Hanumasana. Find your balance and then start to reach your right hand back on the outside of the right foot, closing left toes and sole of the foot to the floor and opening the chest out. Glutes are engaged. For the next posture, remember you can come back to this one. Nice chest opener, not too extreme for the back at all, and also balancing and strengthening. Nice combination. When you're ready, exhale to close the body. Now either trying the peak pose or not, using the inhalation to revisit the back right part of the mat, placing the full of the right palm on the floor now. Make sure you've given yourself space. The first few times I did this pose, I didn't give myself enough space with the right hand away enough from the right foot. Press the top of the right foot into the floor and then lift up left leg, big toe, middle finger, index finger, and inhale to lift. Engage through the heel, open the heart, engage through the glutes. One side definitely easier than the other. Exhale to lower. Let's try that a second time, no matter where you are in the pose. When you're ready, lifting up the left toe and using the inhalation to open out. Hips and hammies really open now. Shoulders are open. Glutes engaged. Exhale to release both knees under your hips and child pose. Maybe hooking your hands back alongside your feet. Coming into a little capsule, a little seed. And we can finish off here with a few options. First is to stay in your child pose. Second option is to slide forward into your Anahatasana, your heart melting pose. And third is to come into an inversion. So a natural progression in our practice and what we've been working on today would be the forearm stand, the forearm balance, and I'm going to work you through that now. If you don't want to do that, and you want to practice a different inversion, of course, that's also cool. And maybe you want to move your mat close to a wall now as well. So either in the middle of your room or near a wall, have your elbows under shoulders, spreading your fingers nice and wide. Press your fingertips into the floor. Your balance in the forearm balance comes from strong fingertips. You really want to press fingertips in, and you don't want to let the elbows splay open. Inhale to lift, tilting through the hips, finding your dolphin balance. First option, if you don't really want to balance or are just approaching this for the first time, is to lift up your right leg and just practice little minute kicks up, just feeling that light elevation. So that's first option. And then from there, you progress to the hold. So those kicks become a little more active, but not kind of exuberant kicks, otherwise you'll go right over. Keep the control in that elevated right leg. So I exhale on the up, inhale, and exhale, pressing into the fingers. So let's try that again. My elbows were splaying open. Find your alignment. And then find the balance. So strong fingertips. Bringing your legs together and straightening out your tail if you can. coming down. And what you do on the one side, do on the other. The first few times you do this, you're going to kick a little bit, find the wall, feel like your back bends a little bit, you bow into a little bit, and that's okay and normal. The process over time is for the lift through the leading leg to be smoother and lighter, and for the tail, the Pincha Mayurasana is the posture, the tail to straighten out. So coming right towards the end of our practice, trying the left side. Find your balance and straighten the tail. Fingertips are the key. Really strong fingertips and coming down. And then we all come for 2 full breaths into the child pose. So wherever you were in your inversion, just closing in here. And your 3rd full releasing breath. And exhale. Inhale to lift up your head. And let's get back into our Shavasana. So time for that relaxation. Moving your heels out towards the side. And coming to lie back on your mat. Maybe placing something warm over you, something over your knees. Maybe you want to just rock your knees from side to side or your hips. Do whatever feels right for you here in these last few moments of our session as you come to still the body and eventually find your Shavasana. Maybe let's go through 3 more releasing breaths as you settle into your corpse pose. So closing your eyes, inhale through your nose, and then exhale through your mouth from the back of the throat. Another time, inhale. And your 3rd inhalation. And exhale. And then just come to release your lower jaw and maybe just move it from side to side, releasing tension in the jaw. So we had quite a active flow today, a lot of strengthening, and it's quite common with that and balancing to create tension into the jaw and the temples. So let's release the jaw and then let the jaw slacken, soften the tongue and the mouth. Imagine as though you could soften your teeth, the roof of the mouth, soften your lips, soften your cheeks. And then sweep the attention up to your forehead. Just soften over the brow. Imagine as though somebody's literally taken a piece of melting wax. It's just running from your 3rd eye, from the center line of your forehead, over the brows and down through the sides of the forehead, over the temples, maybe trickling over the sides of the ears and down into the floor on either side of your face. And just feeling that warm wax and trickling onto the forehead and down either side of the face. The tension in the body, should there be any, releasing along with it. And then turning the attention inwards to the breath, turning your gaze in towards the brain and towards the heart, and tuning your faculty of hearing inwards to the sensations of the body, to the language of your vitality. And with keen and respectful and open ears, listening to all the sensations of this moment, all the wisdom of this moment. So often we know much more than we give ourselves credit for. So often we sense so much more than we allow ourselves to be receptive to. And so let us use these moments of stillness and conscious relaxation to tweak and tune our inner senses, our inner listening, and to better listen, to better understand, to better comprehend all the wisdom that lies therein, all the wisdom of the body, and the memories of our interaction with the world around us, embedded, embodied. And let this listening be open-hearted, open-minded. This listening be without judgment and discrimination. Let us find harmony in all facets of our being, energetic, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, through opening up the lines of communication. Let the light, let the wisdom flow freely. And let us find liberation through the transmissions. And gently start to move into your hands and feet. When you're ready, stretch your arms above your head, taking a deep breath in. And stretching up above you. And then slowly, in your own time, coming up to a seated position, facing forwards once again. And returning to a seated position on your mat. I invite you to bring your hands together, palm to palm, in front of your heart. And to join me in the universal vibration of Om. Deep breath in. Remind us that we don't have to fill the empty spaces with anything at this time. Let us listen and lay us down on the Great Mother under your sparkling blue canvas and soul whispering sun. Let us receive the transmissions and let us drink in the wisdom. Namaste.